Alright, let's talk about when this Deckard headset is coming out. Valve, the company behind it, hasn't spilled the beans on the exact date, but we've got some clues pointing to 2024. You see, Valve is known for not rushing things. They want to make sure their tech is top-notch. It's been nearly 4 years since they released the Valve Index, so it's safe to say they're cooking up something special. We're all pretty excited to see what they've got in store for us next. Now, onto the money part. So, this Deckard headset is packing some serious tech, right? Because of that, it's not going to be a budget buy. You're looking at least $1,000, maybe even a bit more. But here's the deal. Valve, the company behind the gadget, isn't really in a race to beat everyone else on price. Their main thing is Steam, not just VR gadgets. So they're coming for top-notch quality. And that often means a higher price tag. But don't worry, it's probably not going to break the bank. You're likely looking at under $1,500. So, if you want the best, be ready to spend a bit more. Here's the cool part. Deckard isn't your regular standalone headset like the MetaQuest 2. Valve's doing something different. They want to mix things up, like having the best of both worlds. You can use it like a standalone headset, but it's not just about that. See, it's got this Snapdragon brain inside, and that's what makes it special. It means you can wirelessly connect it to your computer. Imagine going on adventures in Half-Life Alyx without any wires holding you back. Time to dive into the visuals. So, Deckard is rumored to have these super duper 4K by 4K per eye micro OLED displays. That's like watching a movie on a giant screen, but right on your face. These micro OLED things are the future of VR because they make everything look crazy sharp and clear. It's like going from an old TV to a brand new 4K one. But wait, there's more. Valve might even make these displays spin around a bit, like a swivel chair. That means you could see more stuff around you in the virtual world. It's like turning your head and seeing more of the game without moving. So Deckard is really stepping up the game in the visuals department, and it's going to be mind-blowing. Let's talk about what's going on with the lenses and stuff. Valve is putting some serious money into optics, like the stuff that helps you see better in VR. But here's the twist. We're not exactly sure what kind of lenses they're going with. What we do know is that they're aiming for top-notch quality, so you can expect some seriously good visuals with Deckard. It's like they're cooking up the perfect recipe for the best VR experience. So even though we don't know all the details about the lenses, one thing's for sure. When it comes to seeing stuff in VR, Deckard is going to be a real treat for our eyes. Now, let's get into something exciting. Eye tracking. It's looking pretty likely that Deckard will have this cool feature. Basically, it means the headset can see where your eyes are looking in the virtual world. Why is this a big deal? Well, it can totally change how VR games work. With eye tracking, Deckard can make your games run smoother. Imagine this. Instead of making your whole game look super detailed, it focuses on the parts you're actually looking at, like where your eyes are. That's called foveated rendering. It's like having a super smart computer that only puts in extra effort when you're really paying attention. So, Deckard might just make your VR games feel even more real and run like a dream. Let's talk about the sound side of things. If you thought that the Valve Index had awesome audio, Deckard is stepping up its game. We're talking top-notch headphones that are going to make your ears dance with joy. It's like having a mini concert right in your VR world. And guess what? They're not skipping on the microphone either. You'll have a super clear mic, So when you're chatting with friends in VR, your voice will come through crystal clear. It's all about making your VR experience super immersive, like you're really inside the game. Now, let's talk about mixing realities. Deckard could be a game changer in blending virtual and real. It's got these built-in cameras that might let you see your actual surroundings while you're in VR. Cool, right? But here's where it gets awesome. Valve is cooking up something called portal features. Think of it like magic glasses that let you see both your real world and the virtual one at the same time. You could have virtual stuff popping up in your real room, like aliens or treasure chests. Time to talk tracking, and Deckard is shaking things up. Forget those base stations you see with other headsets. Deckard might use something called slam tracking, which is like having smart eyes built right into the headset. These eyes, or cameras, see where you're moving and help you stay in the game without any extra gadgets. The cool part, it's not just for the headset, it's for your controllers too. They're making sure everything you do in VR is super precise. It's all about giving you top-notch tracking without the fuss of setting up those base stations. So Deckard is all about making your VR experience smoother and more hassle-free. Say goodbye to those sensor boxes and hello to a new era of tracking. Now, let's talk about these controllers. Valve is doing something pretty clever here. They want to turn these controllers into something like mini base stations in your hands. How? Well, they're sticking in these special lights called IR LEDs. These little lights send out signals that the headset can see and understand. The magic happens when you move the controllers around. The headset watches those IR LEDs and figures out exactly where your hands are. It's like having a super precise GPS for your hands in the virtual world. And the best part, these clever LEDs won't mess with each other. Each one has its own signal, and there's no confusion. So, when you're playing a game, everything you do with those controllers is going to be spot on accurate. Valve's making sure your VR experience is as smooth as can be. Let's dive into the future of VR gaming with Valve. They've got some exciting stuff cooking in their game lab. They're talking about brand new VR games that could be total game changers. Here's the twist though. There's some buzz about a possible sequel to one of their beloved game series. Think about games like Portal or Left 4 Dead. Those are fan favorites. And you know what's really got people buzzing? The way Half-Life Alyx ended. It left us all hanging, wanting more. So maybe, just maybe, Valve is secretly working on a sequel to that game. But hey, even if it's not a sequel, we know Valve is about creating mind-blowing VR experiences. So whatever they've got up their sleeves, it's bound to be epic. Thanks for joining us in this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave us a like. It helps us a lot. And tell us if you plan on getting this headset for yourself when it rolls out. See you in the next one, and until then, stay curious.